Ooh. Grace and peace, y'all. So I keep missing my Thursday. For like the last 3 weeks, I haven't posted on Thursday. It's been on a Friday, but it's been a lot going on in these last 2 weeks. And I'm just gonna tell you about it. I'm trying to do it very, very quickly because I'm learning how to wrap things up and get to the point. Even though I'm a storyteller, I like to tell the whole story so you get the gist of it all. And then for some reason today I couldn't see. I was like, I gotta put my glasses on. But anyway, first of all, today is my sister's birthday, so happy birthday to her. But anyway, the last 2 weeks, right? I've been thinking about, you know, when you have like a conversation with somebody and you feel like you didn't get to say what you wanted to say. So you go through your mind, you have these little thoughts in your mind like, oh, I would have said this, and I should have said that, and I should have said this, and I should have said that. Now, I had like this conversation with a person that I really, really, really respect. So, I was in my head just, going hard, just, like, giving that person everything I had. But the Lord helped me and was just like, look, you are offended by what was said to you, and you got to deal with that. And so for a while I was angry. I was just like, no, I just want to tell this person that, what is going on in my head, the movies I kept playing, the scenes, the scenarios and everything that I just kept playing in my head. But the Lord would not allow me to do so. So, but at one point, I'm learning today, which I learned like this week, is that how do I say it? What I learned is that just because the person said what they said to me and the conversation that we had, even though I didn't get to say, I said what I wanted to say, but I didn't get to say it to the extent that I wanted to say it, doesn't matter. I think the fact that I wanted to, as people say, pop off in my mind, I popped off in my mind, I didn't give it to the person, is that I was somehow people pleasing. I didn't say it to the person because I didn't think, I didn't want them to see me in a different way or think about me in a different way or whatever. So the Lord has helped me, like, look, you're offended because you didn't get to say what you wanted to say, but you wasn't gonna say it anyway because you held them so high, right? And you got to bring them down and put them in a proper order, in a proper space, because what if one day I do tell you to say something? You got to be able to tell them, no matter if and they can't be in a place where you so high up that you're not going to tell them what I'm telling you to tell them. And that might sound weird, or I might didn't say it right, but that's how it is in my head. But anyway, we keep going further in these last 2 weeks to the point where it's just like, I'm just, I was just going through just, doing a lot of crying, saying to myself, oh God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And that was the lie. Yes, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. I feel like I'm not close enough to you, but I know what to do. And here's the thing, that I didn't want to do what I knew to do. I wanted to do everything else. I knew I was supposed to fast. That's the quickest way you can get back to hearing from God. The quickest way, when you deny your flesh and you deny yourself certain things, that's the quickest way to start hearing from the Lord again. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be convenient for me to do that. Like, oh, okay, well, how about on this day when I ain't got nothing to do. And God like, no, that ain't how I work. You want to hear from me? You got to do it right today. And so I was at work probably like last week or something like that, and I think it was a Thursday, and I was writing in my journal, like, okay, Lord, I'm going to fast. And my flesh automatically was like, no, we're going to do it on Monday. But that would have been convenient for me. The weekend wouldn't have been convenient for me. And then probably if I'd have got to Monday, that probably wouldn't have been convenient for me. You know, the flesh never want to do nothing. Anyway, I was like, no, we're going to fast today and we're going to do 3 days. So then my flesh, again, start counting on its fingers like, oh, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Like, oh, by Sunday, this is over. You know. And I probably ain't the only person that does that. But anyway, I'm telling on myself a little bit. Telling on myself. So, and then there was parameters to this fast. The Lord was like, don't eat. No, I said, Lord, and I'm not going to eat. This is the vow that I made to God. And when you vow to God, you got to keep that thing. You can't be, wishy-washy with it or whatever. And this is what I told the Lord. I said, for the next 3 days, I ain't even going to eat. And I ain't going to drink nothing until after 5. So my flesh, because I've been feeding it more than I've been feeding the spirit, man, was like, you can still eat at 3. And I know I'm not the only one that be talking back to my flesh. That flesh got to become tempered. It got to get to a point where you can just be like, shut up. And it'll shut up. No, we ain't doing that. And there's no back talk, you know. But it was back talking me because it was stronger than the spirit man. Because every time that I said I wanted a cookie, I ate a cookie. I thought I wanted something to drink, I drank it. I wanted to watch something, I watched it. But then I was semi-starving the spirit man, you know, like, oh, we're praying, but we ain't praying into how we used to pray. We reading your word, but we ain't reading your word like we used to read your word. Like we supposed to read your word. I ain't even gonna say used to. Like we supposed to read your word. We ain't reading your word. So the spirit man is like, look, and God just had to bring it full circle. Like, look, that's the reason why you can't hear me, because you keep giving your flesh everything that it needs. So back to the point. Anyway, I said I was gonna fast. So on that Friday, didn't eat anything, didn't do nothing, whatever. Was listening for the Lord and stuff like that. But God is so good, because the next day after I said that on that Thursday, the word, the Bible app that I have on my phone, the verse of the day was Joel 2:2. And you know, it's no coincidence. So I just want to make that super, super clear. It's never a coincidence. We might say it's a coincidence. Oh, that was a coincidence that verse came up. Lies you tell. That was intentional. So it was basically like, you know, give your heart all the way over to the Lord, and with fasting. What? I just said that I was going to do that yesterday, and you telling me today that this is what I need to be doing. So it was perfectly in line. It was perfectly on time. But anyway, so I knew that I was supposed to be fasting. And then I could hear from God a little bit more, and a little bit more clearly about what I'm supposed to be doing. And what I came to, and what God brought me to, was that you know what to do. You just want it to be convenient when you do what you know to do. And it don't work like that. Nothing works like that at all. Like, at all. And so God helped me with being offended. In them 3 days, I was praying and asking God to take away the thoughts of me wanting to pop off on that person that I respected and everything like that. God helped me put that person in that person's proper place, to where they are not that high. So if the Lord does require me to say something, I'll be able to say something to that person. You just got to bring people down where they're supposed to be. They should never be too high up where you can't tell them what God told them. And then in the whole 3 days, God was just giving me like accounts in the Bible where, like, I believe it was Eli and Samuel. And Samuel was the subordinate, was basically like the mentee. He wasn't the mentor. But God spoke a word to him and he had to tell Elijah. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you got to tell your mentee something. Sometimes you got to tell an adult something. Sometimes you got to tell that grandmother or whatever. You got to tell them something, but you can't have them so high up that you can't tell them what God told him to tell you. Told you to tell him. Okay, thank you. And so in the end of that account, basically, Elijah was like, don't sugarcoat it for me. Don't leave out anything. Tell me everything that the Lord told you to tell me. And when he told him everything, he said, like, okay, let God, let it be good for God to do whatever he want to do. Now that's a real person of God. Like, when they can receive correction and from somebody that they have been mentoring, that's awesome right there. But anyway, that's how that fast went. And then, coming up to to this week and everything like that, it's just been a great week. Was able to and what I've realized in this week is that in these last couple of weeks, is that it doesn't matter if I'm smiling. It doesn't matter if I really feel good or it looks like I feel good on the outside. God is still good. Don't matter the chaos that's going on around me, he's still good. No matter if my heart is broken, he's still good. He don't change. He's just causing me to change. He's causing my thinking to change. The word says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like, most of this transformation has to start in the mind. And my mind be thinking so wayward. And God is like, I need to get your thoughts together. They all over the place. And so he's helping me with the renewal of my mind. And seeing things properly and putting things in their proper perspective. And not being a people pleaser. Because it's not good to be a people pleaser, because it's a lot of work. It's hard work. Real hard work to continue to keep pleasing a person. And what happens when you want to just be yourself? When you don't want to get that person everything that they're supposed to have, or everything that, to make them feel okay and to be happy and everything like that. What happens when you just be like, dude, I'm tired of that. Today I just don't want to. And then you just want to be yourself. Now that person is mad at you. I think that is the thing with people pleasing. A lot of people, I don't sometimes like people being mad at me. So what? Like, another thing that I am learning is that only God's opinion is the only thing that I should be worried about. Don't matter what anybody think about me, even including myself. So if you don't think that highly of yourself, forget what you think about you. Remember what God said about you. And so I'm going to end this in just a minute. So that's all I want to say. Like, he's teaching me not to be a people pleaser. He's teaching me to put people in their proper perspective, in their proper place. Well, he's teaching me to put things in their proper perspective, like my thoughts and stuff like that. But he's teaching me to put people in their proper place. They can't be too high up. But then also he's transforming my mind and my thoughts. Okay, so those are the 4 points, I believe, that we were just talking about. It might have been 3. Anyway. And the last thing is that God showed me who I am. He told me who I was. And this is another not a coincidence kind of thing. So I signed up for like 3 things in these last 2 weeks. And when you sign up for stuff, you always got to have a password, right? And so I didn't have anything. So It's no coincidence that it was dropped in my spirit to put as my password the king's daughter. So God dropped that in my mind to let me know, to reassure me, to tell me that you are my daughter. First of all, to know that I'm a king and the king. So there's a capital on that T. There's a capital on that K because he's the capital king. And then the fact that daughter was behind it. I'm the king's daughter. So that's it. I ain't got nothing else to say. Sorry for being late again. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know, I hear people saying that, but I really don't know how I want to say that. But anyway, I really would love your comments. I would really love to just talk back and forth. But anyway, have a great day. I love you to life. Talk to you later.